I owed that Mother Lichgate £5
I bring thee this, Knotsman. Mother Lichgate says she saw me wandering in the berry yard the late on Midsummer's Eve. Says she sits there every year. Says the church porch is her place to watch the apparitions walking till the potions will be theirs. Says she saw me face, and that a white 'un, ferrying my ways and robbed of all my wares and not a penny in my purse. Oh, not this man, and save my life for another year. My wife waits for me in a dank grave.
Thy thread is what it is. I cannot make it longer. But this at least, when you do go, it'll not be to a wander, but to a lie in peace. The Weaver Wife. Would have me bind ye in a knot. I cannot tie, I cannot twist the strings of another's heart. This is what he said to me. This he took for why, and never looked if we might lay as woven threads and kiss, but side by side, and never kink or crook. A weaver I, beating fibres with a sword into their proper nook. I laid a loom about him, gentle jibes. He would not lie within my arms for more an hour's pass, the fearedst of all his tribe. A proud man then, I let my fleecy charms raise him high, and how his shuttle flew between my warp and weft, in spite of his alarms. He did not know what strings he threw beneath my thigh, nor what a knot began to tangle, nor how it grew. Because a bonded looser I had got, and never mind the ways I tried to hold him, he was gone before the first clot, before my mother had the chance to scold him. The baby does not cry. It sleeps, though with a bundled brow, as I enfold him. And just the memory of his father seeps beneath my thigh. My husband starts beside his pretty weaver girl, and in his slumber weeps. So, did he bind me in a knot? Well, not so tight to leave me mourning what I've got. 'Tis a very thing of beauty, that, your little pouch, and filled with all variety of twill and snatch of cloth. So many remnants left to pour upon, you'd have me give 'em quite a turn. Open it, she said. Me little bag is knotted up some, and needs a finger's work. I've never seen such a pretty knot of fur and fibre in all me knotted days. So easy round me knuckle. If I stir it with me hand, it gives a sweet aroma. Like you've kept and installated every kind of perfume in the weave. Draw it out, she said. This ribbon's pink and threaded through with glistening silver too. I hope I've not a nail to catch ye. Can't be doing causing ye to fray or loose your precious watches. This twist around me pinky, is not that the softest cloth you'll ever feel? Oh, you are the fairest weaver of the finest skill. Breathe it in, she said. I'd have you take it to the deepest, all the heady sense of my life's best. It were a simple bag of ribbons, kept in a velvet pouch. And every one, she said, the memory of a time. And looking at them each upon her lap, we went beyond her eye and under mine. Such magic. I am wove, she said, and I have woven. I thank ye, Knotsman. And then she kissed me, went her way. Oh my, but this Mass is a time of knotting, isn't it? With the carols and the very many songs threading through the hall, and the yarns spun out as winter tales to waste the longest night. Wreaths hung all about of holly, bay and rosemary. Oh, these the maids come with cakes, with wassail cakes and jolly wassail, white loaf and cheese, minced pies and meat. The jolly youths and plain-dealing plough-swains fell to dancing, to show 'em gambols and breaking of shins. And then the kissing bush gets a crowding, whilst those as don't or won't or will not be kissed can chance a scalding of their lips to bite the apple else the candle, with a log lit from the last year's Yule. And they seek to cut it off like a king's neck. Here come the small ale for all the bairns. I shall leave it untouched for now, for this is a midwinter month, and I have no fingers. I shall leave it bruised, a knot of blood, a flood through still water. The cerries will remain, ridges on the roof of a mouth, and I shall leave the smoothest parts untongued. A heart sometimes can only take so much blood, lungs only so much air. A belly that has more give, these hands can only hold. A mind deep or shallow needs wallow. The bleak light through the window breaks. A slight thaw makes the water drip. The silence bloats like a drowned corpse risen. And stillness doesn't go anywhere. And when I do return, in a grown month in a year half, ye shall see a Maytide blaze in the field. A man of great age, with so many strings upon his face, paper skin, ancient skill in his fingers still. Breath is an old friend, and his thought has learnt to wait. He has never sat here before. His back not bowed so for 50 years or more. The noise keeps to the other side of the room, just him and the crow, in their own cellared vintage of shadow. A mix of strands and fibres, almost as light as the bones in his hand, laid in his palm. A Saviour's wound, or a devil's mark, held by a simple reef, perhaps, the last knot of his life. This old idolatry remains, he says. These fetters, these knots and shadows of ill-made fortune. I cannot unbind this, but by my hand. No prayer, no faith to loose it. But to discard it still tied. But he let the crow take it. Watched the claw fingers tap the tightness from the knot, give it back. He himself pulled the last head from the noose. I think I feel forgiveness. Knotsman. Who can tell? But I. And this knot untied. No impulsion now. Landlord, a luncheon for this man. I must spend my last shillings well.